Welcome to a new day in Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 10. It looks like the forecast is for medium rain. Hopefully it won't detract too much from what we are going to be doing in this video, and that is starting the process of fitting out the capital vessel that I was building in the previous video. What I have done is I've done a little bit of work off camera. I've put in a ramp simply because I've had a few problems getting up inside the ship, and what I've done is started the process of texturing in various parts of the ship as well, just to get a feel for how it looks and how it feels. And coming up through here, I've also put in through the side entrances here. So just to give you a little bit of an overview of what I've done is I've put on the landing gear, I've put on some couple of medium thrusters, or 4 medium thrusters on the back here. Give us a bit of go forward power. I've also put on some small thrusters on here. We got 8 small thrusters for lift at the moment. That's about all the thrusters I've put on. So I've also textured in this area here. I've put the beginnings of some more additional storage down the bottom center here as a strip, but that's about as far as I'm going to go just for the moment, because I don't want, I mean, if I need more space I can add there in. What I've also done up here is I've created this little block here, which is going to be my ammo boxes. Then up here I've put in some farming plots. I think 2 sets of 9 is going to be quite adequate. We've got this up the front here, and of course the front is nowhere near finished at the moment. But as I say, what I want to do in this part is start to fit the ship out. I've also sculpted in this bit at the back for 2 reasons. One, so that it doesn't look quite so blocky as it did before, and also the idea is that if I got enough depth here, I could put some more medium thrusters or large thrusters into here, and this is probably the area we're going to be working on most at the moment. But the first thing I need to do, and I always go a bit wary with this, and that is we're going to have to put in a symmetry plane. Normally I get it so it's on one side of here. Now I did have a couple of comments of people saying about why I wasn't using the symmetry plane in the previous video, and the reason for that is that when I'm fleshing out a main design, I am always indecisive, as any of you guys watched me building before know. And what I find is that if you put big long strips of blocks on this side, then you decide you don't like it, and you have to take it out. It's annoying with the symmetry plane. But what I do like about the symmetry plane is when you're placing or some of the items and you're fitting out, because if you can get stuff installed in a symmetrical way, that gives you a more even weight distribution. Anyway, so let's get down to it. And of course what we're going to do is we're going to make a connection, and the first big thing we want to put in is the fuel tanks and the generators like that as well. And we've got the O2 tank. I want to put the wireless in. I'm not too sure where I want to put that in. Keep the thrusters for the moment. And of course we've got the pentaxid tank put in. Of course we're going to start with the real big one, which is here. And this is 3x3. And this, what I want it is to, I don't want it to be crowding too far this forward. At the same time, I don't want it to be like thrust as far back. I think that's about as far as it goes. If I come forward 1 and we put this in here, that leaves a little bit of space for what you could call odds and ends stuff. In fact, could I get the, no, do I really want to put the gravity generator in here? Let's just, where is it? Oh, have I got it? Where is it? I'm sure I made a, yeah, there it is. I mean, the gravity generator is pretty big, and it's only 2x2, so it's not actually going to fit perfectly symmetrically, is it? Anyway, I think we can come back to the gravity generator, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the fuel tanks, not fuel tanks, generators. I think so if we can put the generator there, that, and of course this doesn't actually give you any symmetry because it's not stacked, so these are treated as separate items. which is a little bit of a pain in the neck, but it'll be okay. And this is the reason why I actually like having the symmetry plane. And then what I want to do is put in these. I mean, these are quite big, but what I want to do is put these just in here. Now these definitely will stack on the symmetry. And actually what I could do is put the taxi tank in the back here on the line of symmetry. Because we only need one pentaxic tank. Now I could put another small generator there, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this one here as well. I mean, so one thing we're definitely going to have to do is make sure this is well protected. We've now got the generators in, we've got the warp tank, we've got that there. And this is coming up here, and of course I've put a door in here, but at the same time I'm not expecting to come in here very often. This is more about putting in items which do. I suppose I could fill in this area here. We've got some O2 tanks, but I'm kind of half thinking about, actually let's just put some thrusters in. Some medium thrusters. I've got some medium thrusters, so I think if we go for enclosed. And what I want to do is put the thrusters like that. I don't want to put them like that, because if I want to have the option to be able to convert this into the small thruster into a medium thruster should I need it. In fact, what we could do is probably put 2 thrusters like that, and that will leave me some space there. We've got the wireless. Where can I put the wireless component in? I mean, we could. I mean, I could come down. Let me just. I mean, I don't really want to do this, but I think if we come down there, that actually opens up through into that machine room there, doesn't it? That's probably not the best way. So we can't really put the wireless connector down there. That's annoying. So I would like the wireless connector to be centrally located. When we could put it, I put it there. That actually cuts down into that area there, but that's no good either. I'm effectively chopping my ship apart here at the moment, so we just put these back again. And I'm just going to, and you can just drop back into there. And we can drop this one back through here, because that's the advantage of having a hole. We can just drop this, and that can go back in again. I'll texture that in off camera. Am I just being a little bit too OCD about this? I mean, we could put the wireless connector there, but I'd rather have it centrally mounted if possible. And let me just have a look underneath. Is there any... I mean, I suppose I could put it there, is this, and put it into the center of there. And I suppose the big question is the wireless airtight? Yes, that's good. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So if we drop the wireless connector in there, it doesn't look all that airtight, but it says it's airtight. And I suppose that does fit with the theme. So what we can do now, kind of inclined to put, I mean, we got a couple of RCSs on each side as well. I think we'll put the oxygen tanks up here. I think I'm just being a bit too icky, too twitchy. I think we can put in a couple of oxygen tanks there, and I'm not sure whether the room will close in on this section here. So maybe I mean, think we'll put a couple of oxygen tanks like that there. So that gives me the oxygen capacity. So where am I going to put this? I suppose we're just going to have to put this slightly off center and like it. Actually, no, I just had a thought. If I take this up and then we put the oxygen generator there, and then what we can do is put the other oxygen tank there. So it's slightly asymmetrical, but I think we can live with it from that perspective. And I suppose what I could do, I mean, I don't have a lot of hardened steel blocks because, strangely enough, I went out and got all the rare elements that I need, but one thing I am running out of at the moment is the hardened steel plates and ordinary steel plates. I'm actually down now when I'm making things, I'm now actually drawing on iron ingots. So what I'm going to have to do probably in the next video is go out and, how can you say, mine some crashed ships. In fact, what I would like to do is get this mobile enough so that I can take this ship out somewhere and maybe put it to good use. And I think if we put another one there, and what we could do is temporarily put a cockpit there. Or we could put the cockpit there. No, we could put the cockpit there. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And I mean, I can readjust the cockpit as and when is necessary. We just come here. I think we'll just put we're going to put a cockpit in as well. And so that's that all filled in. What else? I mean, let's just have a quick check, look at the ship, see. And we're just going to do a grouping. And we've got, the ship isn't complaining now, we've got power, and so we've got everything there. I definitely want the shield turned off because I don't want to charge the shield at the moment. Got no ammo, we got pentaxid. So overall, the main construction menu is happy. And just have a look at the stats. Wow, 1.95 kilotons mass. Wow, we're going to need a lot of thrusters to get off the ground here, if nothing else. And at the moment we've got a max output, 4 generators of 200 kilo power units, which should be enough. At the moment I'm not going to power it up just yet, because of course we don't really have the capacity to move it, believe it or not. I mean, because I do need the extra resources. In fact, one thing I do need to do is I've got some doors, and I've got some. I do need to work a little bit on the elevator. We've got some armored windows, and we've got 9 automatic doors. The question is, do I really need armored windows here? Oh, I think they'd be okay. So what we're going to do is drop 1, 2, 3 armored windows there, and of course we're going to put a normal size, actually put the door in first, because I want to make this airtight like that. Of course we're going to have to put a door in here just to be on the safe side. Rotate that so it's there. And of course at the moment my hangar deck is not airtight, so we're going to have some doors there as well, because I did look at the force fields, and I'm not too sure whether I'm going to be able to put force fields in here because they do come up in angles. So, but of course I can't really put force fields down until I've got power in the ship itself. And the other thing I do want to do, and I've got a couple of doors here, is we're going to have to put a door here. I know it's going to look a bit strange at the moment. I have to put a door there. And what I am thinking is, I don't know if this will actually work. If I cut down through here, because one problem I have had is actually getting in and out of this ship. So yeah, but I do have a problem here. because this really needs to come forward a little bit more. So I think what we're going to do is take these out here, and we have to work with the hardened steel blocks, because what I would like is for this elevator to drop down low enough for me to be able to get into the ship. So just come here. So I think what we're going to have to do is bring this ship a little bit further forward like this, and the elevator's going to be there, so we just drop this in. And I mean, it's probably not the best way to do things, but steel block or hardened steel block. I think I'm just going to have a lot of hardened steel blocks in the front, partly because we're going to have a lot of weight on the back, so in some ways having the hardened steel blocks up here will make things a little bit better. And I think at the moment it's going to, what is that there? Is that, that's a, oh yeah, because I coloured this in, because when I was putting the undercarriage on, I actually coloured this in a little bit to try and make this fit in a little bit. I think what we're going to do is just move these forward a little bit. Here, in fact, let's take these out, and if maybe we can create an effect here of dropping down, so we can put that there. And then what we can do is this kind of drops down like that. So what we can do is just keep bringing this forward. This is something else I actually changed. Was I put a recess down here for the undercarriage. But what we can do is just take these out on each side like this. And we can extend this out like that, and then put some more. This ship is getting big, very, very big. I must admit, it's getting, I wouldn't say it's the largest ship I've ever built, but it's probably one of the more ambitious ships I've built. And oh yeah, because I've got the symmetry plane on. Yeah, we're going to have to work around this, and that brings this down to this level. And what we can do is put in, oops, and we can come across like that. I just want to get a feel for, so I'll probably shape this in way or another. In fact, that looks a little bit blocky, but I think we can live with this. And I think we're just, for the moment, we're just dropping. I don't want carbon compensate. That's too weak. And I think okay. I have only ordinary steel blocks. Yes, I do. I don't think I need those anymore. And I'm just going to. And I think we can just put a couple of ordinary steel blocks in as carbon compensate as well. This is one reason why, with my slightly cack-handed way of building things, there's one reason why I don't generally like using the symmetry plane, because it does. So I want to shape this in. I think what we can do is, I think for the moment, just give myself a little bit of an outline. I want to come in like that, and so that's going to fit in there, that's going to fit in there. Of course, what we've got now is the ability to put in a door down here, so that will give me so that should make this room airtight. if and when such time as I actually put in some capability along here for sealing this room off, because of course this isn't airtight as well, so we've got to fit in this area here. Now we do have this area here and coming this way, and we got this area here. So I think what I'm going to do is for the moment I'm just going to seal this in like that, because this will be the machine room, and then up here this is going to have to come out a reasonable amount of distance. So this will no, and of course it's put it on the other side. Nice thing is we can still fly through the center like that and come back, pick those hardened steel blocks up again, and it's going to again, I just want to block this out a little bit, probably out about as far as here, and I'm just going to probably put this in like this, and we're getting very low on the main blocks. Of course this is going to be the roof, so, and I think that's going to be about all my hardened steel blocks. I can't really make any more at the moment. What I'm thinking is to have a couple of guns mounted on the stern here, and then up the front here, and what I would like is some form of gun platform coming down over the cockpit, so we may have to extend the cockpit further. And now I've got this area fleshed in. Of course, if any of you guys know me, I think I've had comments about this, is we're just gonna have nice wooden walls on this side. Open the door, please. See, I've already put wood paneling here. I really do like my wood paneling. I think I've already mentioned it before. This goes back to when I grew up, because I actually grew up in a house that had a lot of wood paneling in it, and I really enjoyed it. So we've now got this area here. Of course, this is the area where I'm going to put in my med bay. I think I've already got some stuff here. I've got a couple of fridges and the food processor. Actually, we could probably do with a bed up here as well. In fact, I could nick the bed from off the end of the what we call it, when I could put the fridges against this wall like that. This is glass, so like that, and we could put we'll put the food processor, maybe if I put the food processor there. Yeah, I know, I mean I may want to walk up and out this actually, so maybe we'll just put the food processor about there. We've got the food processor there. Let me just go and we'll go and hook the. We should be able to go down, and if I can find it, there it is. So we can and just hook the bed out, and it's getting dark already, so I better get the bed in so that I can sleep on it. Whoops. And I'm a little bit nervous because I'm still half expecting a base attack. I mean, we could. I mean, it's a bit of an open plan, but well, we could put the bed right next to the food processor, just like that, and then that leaves these walls open, these areas open for other items as well. Yeah, I think we'll just put the bed there. So I'm just going to get that there. We've got this area here. We've got this here. Let's walk through. Actually, let's just. I think I've done everything I want to do just for the moment. So I think what we're going to do is have red doors. Oops. And we're going to come through here. And we've got this area here, so, and of course we've got where a bit of a wall short on this side, which is annoying. Actually, could I get enough? What is this? Is this? These are steel blocks, so I could finish this off. So let me just cook this up. I got some steel blocks. Got one steel block. Great. Ah, never mind. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go out on a raid or find a thing. Or alternatively, what I could do is try and get this ship out and mobile. Because we've now got the full width here. What I could do is we've still got the symmetry plane on. I mean, we want to put some thrusters along this spine here. So if I get some, oops. Okay, I take the hint game. So if I come in here, say if I put a, is that the right way around? So if we put a thruster, whoops. Okay. I've got this touch of the shakes at the moment, so I'll hook that out and this one out. So let's get back to here. Why am I one? I'm sure I picked up two thrusters. And what we could do, that's too far back, so I want the 1, 2, 3. That's completely wrong, isn't it? We got the gun platform there. So if I put a thruster there, yeah, I've messed this up completely. And if we do that, it's going into my. Sorry about that. Let's put that back on again, just as a bit of insurance. 3, 5. Actually, I could put these in clusters, couldn't I? So I could put. Now, if I'm going to have a gun up there, I'll probably have a gun here. So if I go, say, space 2, like that, that will give me some down thrusters along there. So I'd have 2 turrets there, and then we could have thrusters along the top here, and then we'd have a space more. If we work this out correctly, we can have 2 sets of thrusters there. No, 2 more turrets here. Then what I would like is some nose mounted turrets here. So that gives me thrusters in every direction except stopping. And then the problem is, well, and we just, where am I? Oh, we can jump out here anyway. And of course it's got dark. Sorry about this. Sorry. Okay. Let me just get a bit closer. Yeah. I should be able to get up here. Where am I? I've gone right to the... And we should be able to get up here. And we're just going to sleep through the night. So we're back in daylight. And of course I need some food. So we're just going to... Which one? Whoops, no. Let's shift like that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel... No, I'm going to cancel the symmetry plane. Because what I'm going to do now is find the way back to the ground. And... And I'm just going to head back. And hopefully, if I can make 2 medium thrusters, we're just going to have to get all the way back to... I put this bit on the back because this was overhanging and I couldn't actually jump up onto the platform, which is another reason why I actually put the ramp in. Hopefully I will have enough resources to make a couple of medium thrusters. If not, life's going to get a little bit difficult. 1, 2. I'm just going to build those, and I'm just going to jump back up onto here, out here. Oops. Now you've got a sample of what was happening to me. And I think I've got some power. Break that for the moment. Where's miscellaneous supplies? Yep. So what I want is put that onto there. And what we're going to do is come into here, energy, fuel, and use that up. That's 100% fuel. Wow, that's bright. That's way too bright. It's almost like these illuminated top areas actually have yeah, these having this white. So these blocks in the roof actually have got lights in them. I'm gonna have to change that. That's a bit too much. It's a little bit over the top. Right, so the other thing I'm not sure is whether it's the okay. So we got thrusters on here. Now this is going to be a bit unstable because we don't have any thrusters at the front. All the lift is at the back, so life could be a bit interesting. Let's just break that and go back to CV supplies. And what I'm going to do for the moment is I'm just going to tack a couple of, I'll put a thruster on there and a thruster on there. I mean, this won't be the final place, but I'm just curious now to see whether I can actually get lift off. And a top tip now is before you take off a ship like this, especially on a mountaintop, drop a save. I'm just going to break the connection, simply because if I don't have the ability to control the ship, which is going to be very possible. This is because the ship isn't really complete. We don't have all the thrusters on. If this does not actually work, life could be very embarrassing. Well, it looks like we've actually got it. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Now bear in mind that I don't have anything loaded on the ship, but I really like this simply because what it means is that rather than going out and collecting the resources, what I can do now is go out to, say, crash ships over here and loot them and basically equip the CV directly. And the other thing I'd like to do is come back to my water base over here, simply because what that will do is it will allow me to transfer items from that base and install them in this ship. That went pretty well. I'm really happy with that, but it's going to consume a lot of power. So I'm just going to jump up here, and I think I've actually got, oops, let me see, data controller, capital vessel, and of course I can't look back to, because let me just see now, because I've powered the ship on now, this is dominating my perception. So what we're going to have to do is just get back here, because what I would like to do is I've got a couple more fuel tanks. So we've got this here. Whoops. Obviously the doors are still a little bit of a problem. Oh, I switched the power off, that's it, yeah. Turn the thrusters off, turn the lights off. And what you can see now, this is actually gone. I just want to test again, so if I switch the power back on. Yeah. This is so bright. It's way too bright. We're going to have to do something about that. I'm just going to turn the power back off again. And hopefully I should be able to get a connection now to my base and just get to CV supplies. I've got 2 more fuel tanks which I would like to put in situ. And I mean, I could put them up here. I mean, we could put them there actually. There's a little bit of extra coverage. Because at the end of the day, if this takes damage and I lose the generators, having the fuel is irrelevant, isn't it? So, what I could want is, I think these are just small fuels. These were basically left over from the base, so I might as well just add them into here. That should give me a little bit more fuel capacity. Yeah, it's dropped to 82% because I've added those as well. I think we've got more than enough generators because we've got the big fuel tanks there, we've got the gravity, we've got oxygen, and we've got 4 oxygen tanks, so we've got plenty of oxygen, we've got plenty of power, we've got basic lift and thrust, and I think this will be a good point to leave the video. And what we're going to do in the next part is we're going to probably pick up both the SV, although somehow I'm going to have to try and work out how to pick up the hover vehicle as well. And then what we will do is go out, and I think the first objective will definitely be the base over here. And what we'll be able to do is go in there, pick up the advanced constructor which we need for our machine room and various other things, because I'm pretty sure there's a med bay in there, and I think there's even a couple more fridges, so we might be able to go to 4 fridges. But that's all going to be for the next part, so until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.